Let's now take a look at real world applications. So, as I had been telling you, Prince 2 is method neutral, is governance strong, so it can be applied in any kind of industry, any kind of scale project. Take a look at industries. So, Prince 2 indeed has seen application in any industry you name. Talk about IT technology. Prince 2 has something to offer to everyone. So let's say an IT transformation project like a cloud migration or an enterprise-wide rollout happening. In such a project, Prince 2 can clearly define what is being delivered. All right. So we got this principle, continued business justification, which ensures every feature that we deliver has a business value. It can be tracked back to some business value. Whatever business value could be reducing cost, increasing efficiency, better compliance, no matter what. But every feature has a business value, right? Further, IT transformation projects involve high level of technical uncertainty, right? So the Prince 2's managed by stages framework can help overcome this uncertainty by avoiding upfront detailed planning, by letting learning to be implemented, by planning the project stage by stage, right? So that's how we also ensure that a stage is only given a go ahead of funding if it is justified. Further, IT projects, they focus a lot on learnings, retrospectives. The team conducts retrospectives quite often, right? So the Prince to learn from experience helps ensure that the same mistakes are not repeated, right? So that's how it could contribute significantly to IT technology related projects. Think of healthcare projects. The needs of healthcare projects happen to be very different. In healthcare projects, key is compliance, risk, security, patient data is critical. Okay, so these become more important. So Prince 2's managed by exception can really help manage the needs of such a project, wherein whenever there are any deviations, any breaches beyond the allowable tolerance limit, it mandates an escalation. So that appropriate decisions can be taken. Likewise, roles and responsibilities ensure accountability. So, in a healthcare project, we could form a project board with people with clinical governance experience, IT operations, combination of staff. And these roles and responsibilities can ensure nothing goes wrong. And if something goes wrong, there is accountability, there is an audit trail, there is clear ownership. So, at whose end was there a lapse? So, that's how, through responsibility and accountability, it can contribute hugely to healthcare projects. Another thing is tailored to suit project environment, which happens to be one of the principles. Now, healthcare kind of projects where regulations, and safety, compliance are important. In these cases, heavy documentation would be the need. So Prince 2 can well be tailored to increase the rigor of documentation. While on the contrary, a project that's applying agile, we need light documentation. It could otherwise be tailored accordingly, right? So that's how it can contribute healthcare projects. For instance, let's talk about public sector. Public sector projects funded by taxpayers' money, and with political sensitivity oversight. So these projects demand a lot of transparency. And Prince 2 can offer that by ensuring transparent decision making through formally documented business cases and strong reporting, stage reportings, checkpoint reviews. These provide an audit trail to ensure that decisions are made in a transparent manner, right? Often government projects are slow, not because of execution, but because of decision making, mostly. So Prince 2 can offer here the managed by exception principle. to ensure that decisions are made timely. The senior management remains accountable for timely decisions. So that's how it could contribute towards public sector projects. Talk of finance, the real challenges when it comes to finance industry would be tight regulations and even profitability of the projects. So Prince 2 has a very robust risk management practice. It has in-depth guidance on how do we identify risk, how do we categorize them, how do we control risk systematically. So risk related to regulations, customer data, these can be prioritized over general risk of schedule and cost overrun, right? So that's how risk practice can contribute effectively towards finance kind of projects. Further, even continued business justification could help. So projects that are regulatory compliant, projects that are justified in terms of ROI are only undertaken. We do not undertake projects that are not regulatory compliant. Further, quality practice could also contribute. In finance, there is a need of high level of accuracy in the products, especially data integrity. In these cases, quality practice by setting appropriate and strict tolerances can ensure that. Let's take a look at infrastructure kind of projects. Huge infrastructure projects, like highways construction, right? Or energy systems, or setting up a telecom tower, cost intensive projects. These are massive. These projects cannot afford to fail, right? There's huge money involved here. So Prince 2 can help through manage by stages. So through that, we ensure that the project is divided into multiple stages, like early stages of prototyping, even preliminary engineering, design foundation, staged construction. So through these approaches, we can ensure that the risk is reduced, right? So that's how you can contribute towards infrastructure kind of projects. Further, we have a concept of product-based planning in Prince 2. Product-based planning emphasizes on outcomes first rather than activities. So such infrastructure projects can focus on products like road sections that we need to deliver, or let's say substations in my energy project. So these are outcome focused rather than activity focused, right? Well, so at a high level, I would summarize no matter what the industry combined, the idea is Prince 2 is so very generic. The power of Prince 2 is actually the focus on governance, clarity of roles, business justification, risk management. These are the key areas and strength of Prince 2. So through these universally accepted practice, regardless of whether the project involves writing code or making policies or finance or concrete, Prince 2 can work in any kind of a project. Here, some sectors, some names, big names where Prince 2 has seen recognition, where the list is pretty long. So it has seen recognition in any kind of industry. Talk about government, public sector, to name a few, NHS, National Health Services. I myself have been to multiple other, government organizations where Prince 2 has been very successfully implemented. Talk about technology companies, IBM, Capgemini, Vodafone, global enterprises like Shell, multinational NGOs. These are certain others where Prince 2 has seen recognition. There are a lot of benefits to the company. So clear accountability structure Prince 2 does provide. ISO alignment, if the organization is ISO compliant, and even other QMS, not just ISO, say your CMMI compliant, Prince 2 can marry well with these popular QMS, quality management frameworks. Repeatable, measurable results we spoke earlier, organizational maturity uplift. So, I'm a certified P3 M3 assessor, by the way. So that is project program portfolio management assessor by PeopleCert. So when we mature, when we assess an organization, be it for certification or advisory, for the project management maturity, Prince2 is the basis for that. So that's how, it does contribute towards the overall upliftment in the maturity level. So these are some benefits to the company. So Prince2 is recognized in 150 plus countries. And why get certified? It opens the door, it's accepted in more than 150 countries. So based on the salary survey that was conducted, we see project managers can expect a compensation of 25%, you know, additional. So let's say your market value based on your knowledge, experience, educational qualifications is X. You add a Prince2, that becomes 1.25X. More than a million certified professionals we have on Prince2 worldwide. And some high demand regions would be, of course, UK, where it comes from. Europe has seen relatively a lot of recognition for Prince2, Middle East, and a lot of other Commonwealth nations, many other Commonwealth nations also Prince2 has seen recognition. It's a globalized certification, so it would open door for various positions like project managers, project coordinators, PMO professionals, even industry leaders. I've seen Prince2 professionals working as taking up senior leadership roles in many organizations. It boosts your CV as well. So, if you go and check most of the openings in project management, you would find Prince2 would be a prerequisite in certain cases. If not, is desired. And I tell you, even if nothing is stated, somewhere, the screening happens, based on Prince2. Elsewhere, it could be either a PMP or Prince2, all right? So that's how it can really be adding weight to your CV.